This is The Gender of Critical Theory on the Experiential Grounds of Critique by Paul Apostolidis. Yeah. In Contemporary Political Theory is a review of a book, but it's a few pages and figured let's go take a look because not something I normally look at. And as always, feel free to ask questions, everyone out there, and we'll give this review our own little review afterwards. And so we'll see if it's got some, if it, does what it should do, is like tell you something fun about the book and whatever. So, since its origins in interwar Germany, critical theory associated with the Frankfurt School has foregrounded the notion that philosophical thought needs contact with sociological, ascertainable, and materially palpable experiences of suffering and domination to become critically reflective. Okay, so basically you have to go get your hands messy to actually understand what it is to become critically reflective. You are right, it is not. Sorry about that, but we're only on the first sentence, so it's okay. Thank you, Vipers. In The Gender of Critical Theory, Louis MacNay takes sober measure of just how far the early Frankfurt School signature humility about reason's prowess has receded among recent thinkers who carry the tradition's standard. Rainer Forst, Alex Honneth, Alessandro Ferrara, Nancy Fraser, and Rahel Jaggi. This is full Marxist, by the way. I don't know. I'll have to take your word for it. This is not my area. Reading this excellent book, one senses that critical theory has reached a pivotal juncture where a determined effort must be mounted to counteract these thinkers' swoon towards normative foundationalism. Okay, so we're moving away from humility and towards normative foundationalism. I have no idea what's going on. Unreal Brian says, I saw Rainer Forst give a talk at Syracuse. He was a cool guy. Good to know. I mean, I can make up what I think normative foundationalism, that there is some foundation and it sort of brings everything to it. It's like got normative force, says you should be this way, but I don't know. Okay. Yet MacNay not only seeks to revive critical theory's lapsed appreciation for direct experience, she also projects a novel path forward that would engage avidly with oppressed people's everyday lives and discernments. Viewing post-Habermasian writings through lenses supplied by feminist critical race theories, MacNay offers an exciting new agenda for critical theory to recenter situated experience within the force fields of radical social critique. Okay, so we've got some sort of new theory of this stuff. MacNay argues that the Frankfurt School's latter-day leaders embrace in principle but ignore in practice the need to anchor normative and institutional critiques of power in the experiences of those subjected to the harshest forms of domination. All right, so what I don't get here is why is the harshest form of domination necessary? Isn't maybe that gets you the best raw data for what you're trying to do, but seriously, then you're always going to be chasing after whatever the harshest thing. It seems sort of not a very good method to do anything. Yeah, you told it was Marxist. I believed you, but I'm just wondering why this is necessary to do. Really, because you're always going to be chasing something that's going to be just out of your reach, probably. All right, continuing. Each thinker forgoes imagining a genuinely interactive relation between theoretical concepts and direct experiences, opting to preserve the supposedly transcendental status of a monist totalizing paradigm, meant to illuminate structures of social domination and imminent sources of transformation. The philosopher's anxious desire to be read as objective and self-arrogation as uniquely competent to think this way thus keeps at arm's length the experiences of pain, exclusion, and exploitation that critical theory depends on to evade reification and gather capacious social knowledge. Unreal Brian says a man's reach should exceed his grasp, or what's a heaven for? Well, this is the thing. If they're saying that experience is so important, but you always need to get the person with the hardest possible experiences, I mean, there's only so much of that. And who can everyone have access to the person who has the worst possible experiences in society of being dominated? So it's all right, everyone has there's gonna be one guy who has it worse than everyone else, and everyone needs to go find that dude and talk to him and find out what his experiences are. It's that just seems all right, it's excessive is what I'm saying. Viper says, what a coincidence, one of my monitors I'm talking on about the harshest form of domination, while on the other, what, got porn? And it says, that's exactly why you need to carry out research to find those experiences. But I ain't saying that you don't need to carry out research to find those experiences. I'm just saying, like, it's a little bit hard to always be at like the cutting edge, because that's what it seems like here. It's like you always have to be at the cutting edge, which is a very excessive, like it's a lot of burden to do for like the research. Now, of course, it would be good to find out who is being dominated and who has a shitty time in life, and then go see if we can figure out what their experiences are and how to do things that would, like, you know, be better and what we can learn for it. But like, it's just, if this is like the theory here, that makes it just like, it's like a consequentialism. You always have to be calculating what the best outcome is. It's very difficult, sort of like conceptual theory. Unreal Brian says, maybe an analog to Rawls' principle that an inequality in society needs to be the benefit of the least advantageous. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. It's like, why should the people who have it worse, you know, why they should, you know, get the benefits of society? But again, if like, but what I'm saying here is that, yeah, this is the research data you're trying to get, but it just seems like, all right, you're always going to be like searching for the most pure little thing. Oh, while you're on the other, you're playing Domination by Pantera. Hope they bought that. Yeah. Yeah, we bought that. Pantera is good. Okay, what these theories lack is a proper dialogical relation with oppressed people, which would attune theorists to forms of power occluded by their own privilege, unearth normative values subsisting within dominated groups, practices, beliefs, and struggles, and express ethically and politically the practical implications of the theorist in the field of study. Yeah, I mean, this sounds nice, but like, again, easier said than done. That like you can go talk to the people in a dialogical way and understand the logic of what they're doing. Seen them twice this year. Oh, there you go. Hey, Tindaris. Thanks for the lurk. Good luck. Be safe. Don't get caught. Okay, McNay presents the book's main argument in the introduction and first chapter. The latter consults a range of black feminist, critical race, and anti-colonial authors, notably Bell Hooks, Patricia Collins, and Angela Davis, to expose problems with paradigm-led theory, putting these writers in conversation with Theodore Adorno, Maeve Cook, and Pierre Bourdieu. Sorry if I said any names wrong. That's for everybody, of course. Adds the leverage and signals that the book aims to trouble rather than reinscribe the boundaries of critical theory. It was your own fault, Tindarius. You opened your mouth, which is okay. I appreciate anyone lurking. I appreciate it. I don't look at like the who's in chat list, so I don't know that. Like if you're lurking, that's awesome. I don't like try to call people out. Forrest heads McNay's lineup, and his theory of the right to justification provides a glaring example of the tendency to profess a dialogical sensibility, but to proceed monologically. Yeah, so in other words, they're not actually getting the experience, they're still just going in the same sort of one-track mind. Forrest defines this principle of justification as a universal constant, thereby exempting this core idea from critique on any historical or empirical basis, even though he also claims to derive the principle from the practical realities of reasoning processes. The problem is that insufficient attention is given to the ways in which justificatory processes are always historically situated, and therefore must inevitably confront discrepancies of power between interlocutors. As McNay notes, racially and sexually marginalized persons routinely face skeptical demands to justify themselves from privileged people whose own actions and positions are simply presumed to be valid. Yeah, this is the old thing where it's like, it's not the person that has been screwed over's job to explain themselves all the time. That's an extra burden on them. It's if you realize someone is screwed over, it is your job to understand that they have been screwed over and try to figure it out without putting extra responsibility on the person screwed over to be like, well, you have to explain it to me now. It's like, well, they've already been hassled. Now they have to explain something else to you? That's kind of crappy. What do we got here, Vipers? Copy link. Best banner at Pride 2023 Glasgow so far. Non-Judgment Day is coming right next to the tiny Christian fundamentalist protest. Non-Judgment Day is coming. Yeah, you can see this guy. And God adores you. So yeah, and God loves fags. With the Yankee hat on. There you go. Yankees hat for the win. God loves fags. Oh, that's lovely. There was a bit of a viral video I saw on like maybe Reddit or something yesterday where Charles Barkley, the basketball former player and now commentator, he's just like, if you're gay, we love you. If you're trans, we love you. If you don't like those people, go fuck yourself. So it's like, it's been nice. Yeah. God loves blank, 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 and blank, blank, blank loves Yankees. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this is a problem. If, like, you are telling everyone there's one way to look at stuff, that's inevitably going to be the way that's going to include some of the people in power and some of the people not in power. But the problem is you're trying to see things from the not in power's point of view. And if you're mixing that with the people in power, you're just going to have a rough time of actually getting the viewpoint of the oppressed peoples. Okay. Endgame fidelity to a monist paradigm. You got, oh God. Endgame fidelity to a monist paradigm likewise thwarts Hanneth's effort to heighten the historical sensibility of his theory of recognition. So yeah, again, the monist is the single paradigm, and then the endgame fidelity, that's exactly what I was saying, was like you're mixing different viewpoints, so the fidelity is low. Well, they had to say endgame fidelity to a monist paradigm likewise thwarts Hanneth's effort to heighten the historical sensibility of his theory of recognition. Attempting to fashion a context-transcending vantage point. Again, they're trying to get to this one spot to see the world from, but there is no God's eye view. There is no independent viewpoint. So context-transcending vantage point from within the shifting context of human intimacy, Hanneth posits a dynamic of progress that establishes increasingly positive recognition relations within the family as history advances. Okay, so I guess what we're doing here is that you're getting like a shifting back and forth, and then you're positing it is the shifting, it's not the viewpoint. Again, you're still mixing viewpoints there. Yet, as McNay shows, marshaling feminist empirical and theoretical resources, violence and unequal care work among family members endanger and disadvantage women no less egregiously today than in previous times. With Hanneth as with her other targets, McNay underscores features of the theorist's thought that she sees as worthwhile. In this case, the key role that Hanneth grants to the lived suffering of subordinated groups in guiding masking critique. Hanneth grants the lived suffering of subordinated groups in guiding unmasking critique. This is a virtue of McNay's book, and it reflects her feel for imminent critique even as she delivers unsparing criticisms grounded in close readings. Yeah, so again, if you're bouncing back and forth between, viewpoints, and you're saying, well, I'm going to get everyone's viewpoint because I'm bouncing back and forth between them. If someone has a much more restricted viewpoint, then are you really bouncing back and forth between them? Because this is going to be an unfair relation between the viewpoints. Fair enough. Ferrara, McNay contends that certain phenomenologically tangible experiences function as exemplars in the sense of disclosing previously unarticulated experiences, meanings, and values, and new possibilities for democratic thought and action. Pressed to distinguish exemplary from non-exemplary jolts to the imagination, however, Ferrara posits a concept of exemplarity based in the speculative constructs of sensus communis, defined as a set of non-naturalized transcultural institutions about human flourishing. Okay, so we've got institutions now about human flourishing. Ooh, we got AI already. Okay, in 1 sec, we'll get there. Once more, critical theory deprives itself of the encounters with the concrete suffering and other... Okay, yeah, so once you get to institutions, then you're moving away from the lived experience. Okay, so deprives itself of the encounters with concrete suffering and other negative experiences that could catalyze a genuinely social critical perspective within a self-neutralizing gesture. It is a bit muddy, but then again, it's a review paper, so they're trying to crowd in as much as they can into like these, basically 3.5 pages. But anyway, let's go take a look at some art real fast. This here is some AI art that our community member Cinesemiotics makes of me and Philosophy Roulette. So this is, I guess, the screenshot that was grabbed. The Gender of Critique by Paula Postolidis. And then, oh my god, Yeah, my mustache is starting to grow. I feel like I'm in some sort of weird medieval thing. That's interesting. Yes, it's all sort of very medievalized. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Oh, I don't know who this is, but this is kind of funny looking. I feel like, yeah, kind of Ryan Reynolds-y almost. I forget what the actor is looking like. What's that? Chris, I don't remember. Oh my god, I look like a kind of like what's this called? Like claymation almost in this one. And where did I get glasses from? Yeah, this looks like some sort of weird claymation. That's really cool, this one. And now, yeah, and this one looks almost clay-like. So this is more like claymation. This one looks like hardened clay almost. Team American World Police. Yes, you Team America'd me. Oh my god, I'm so Team America. That's great. Yeah. Oh wow. Now we're just turning more into a clown. Shocking. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This looks like I don't know who that looks like. Looks like I'm the teacher from the Breakfast Club or something. Hey, Faye, they finally got the hair right. What the hell happened here? Wow, okay. Well, this is really kind of cool. This is what is this? Sort of like a steampunk car and city. That's kind of neat. It's kind of sad that like this leg here is really weird. Like I don't know if you can see out here, but like it doesn't look like it's really connected to the guy. It looks like it's kind of like a kickstand for the car because the guy's leg actually comes down. I don't know if you can see, but like the knee is over here in the middle, and then he's got like another leg knee here. It's like, eesh. Okay. And I think this is the old stuff. Yeah, this is from last time when we had lots of dots for some reason. Thank you, Cinesemiotics. Property philosophy is public health. So okay, so this is like a public health, like a public like a police sort of look. So we've got some sort of philosophy. So they've kind of got like some sort of like old school cyberpunky Victorian era tech with a policey sort of thing. That's neat though. That's kind of neat. Okay, thank you very much for that. You like the ICBMs, yeah. I think they are hanging lamps basically, but they do look like rockets going up. Yeah. Looks like holding a tank for people actually. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess like I can see in here it looks more like there's technology inside, not people, but yeah. Look closer, it's dark. I don't actually see. Oh, it does look like there's bags and stuff. So maybe there's people. Oh, maybe there are people in here. I don't know. It looks like there's like little people. Yeah, I was looking. My sense of scale was off. So yeah, there's like small people in there. Yeah, that's a little creepy then. Okay. Yeah. Like rounding people up for re-education. Yeah, so this guy's a fascist piece of shit. But okay, that's what we're kind of. These are the people that we're trying to talk about here. Who is actually getting the most abuse in society, and we need to find them. Maybe, hey, this is how we actually do sociology. We go round up all the poor people, and we put them all in one place, away from everyone else, and we ask them how they're feeling, and then we can do sociology correctly. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there's one more? Okay. Go back up. Oh my, yeah, team roulette. We did not re-education, yay or nay? Usually nay. I don't know. I've just got, this is what it was last time, because if you get down here, this is last week's. It's not loading. Okay. Happens. Re-education is usually a nay, because you can't trust the people doing the education. When there's re-education, usually that's a big old nay, because the people in charge of the re-education cannot be trusted. So, okay. Yeah, so again, if you appeal to human institutions, then again, you're moving away from the experience. Yeah, then we're coming up on re-education day. Ooh, fun. Okay. McNay sees more promise in Jagi's reconstruction of theory's mission as the effort to formulate inchoate or misunderstood negatives as concrete problems to be addressed collectively. You'll take your shirt off and pray, yeah. For McNay, Jagi's grounded approach to normative inquiry aligned her work with feminist preferences for fighting oppression through a range of contextually indexed practices of empowerment rather than through a single grand theory of emancipation. Jagi, too, however, skippers her theory to the sheltered shores of philosophical objectivism. She proposes that a formal account of successful learning or progress allows the theorist to render the context-transcending judgments on the emancipatory status of any given problem-solving process. McNay finds this formal notion depoliticizing, sociologically underspecified, and prone to misrepresent structural inequalities and abstract forms of domination as situationally specific blockages. Ivan, it will not register until I have the screen up. So, I mean, if you're going to leave, I will take your word for it and I'll put it in later. But yeah, you can do that now, but it will not register until you put it in later. So you will have to put it in later too. Thank you. But yeah, I know this is not your cup of tea. But the question is, hey Ivan, do you do any social theory? Yes? No? You find out. It's hard. Social theory's hard. Okay. Fraser breaks from the paradigm-led theorizing by advocating a model of moral political communication guided by participatory parity, which she identifies as principal idiom of popular deliberation about social justice and hence a socially immanent source of normative orientation. You do anti-social theory, okay. Oh yeah, you're one of those people wearing the anti-social social club t-shirts? Alright. Yet she ultimately shares her crowd's inclination to privilege the academic philosopher's self-imputed ability to adjudicate what really merits the title of injustice over notoriously unreliable situated expressions of experience. Still, McNay sees conceptual architecture of Fraser's theory as better attuned to the concerns of feminist critical race and anti-colonial theorists because it aims to spark attention to plural accounts and stories from below. Yeah, so I mean, I guess if you're talking about getting people into talking about the way people speak, that's good, but then you can't say, but the philosopher really understands what they're saying, because then again, that's the philosopher again. Yeah. Johannes, thank you for the stretch. Oh, yeah, my back. Drink some water for that matter, too. Yeah. So, this is To the Experience again. Author says, at times I wish McNay's discussion of feminist critical race and decolonizing authors were less glancing. Yeah, exactly. Health check, thank you. Johan. I feel okay. I'm not sitting terribly. Maybe not great, but not terribly. The book shares a fault for which Amy Allen's The End of Progress has been criticized, citing such theorists to raise fundamental questions about European critical theory, but then devoting most close readings to texts by major European thinkers and hence reconfirming their dominance. Why not a full chapter, for instance, on Davis, whom McNay cites as instructively construing densely interactive theory experience relations? Yeah, this is the problem. Academics really only talk about academics. If they start talking about other people, then all of a sudden it's like, well, it's not as good academics. Yeah. What do you want me to argue for, Cinesemiotics? Yeah, it would be cool to read some actual critical theory. You know, I would think there'd be papers every so often of critical theory. Maybe this is a problem of philosophy roulette in that, eating upside down. Okay, I don't know what that is, but I will try. Lots, but sociology. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I think I got cut off. What I was going to say is I just don't know if the format, like I just don't see it, or maybe it's too long, or maybe I just haven't been like looking at it because maybe the format of this stuff isn't what I pulled down off Phil papers. But yeah, I have no problem. Like if you find a good paper you want me to read, I'll definitely check it out and like we can read it on stream. So you want me to argue for eating upside down? Just argue for its benefits. You see, okay, we can try. Well, I mean, if you're in outer space, you can eat any which way you want. Then you can be upside down, right side up, like slant ways, sideways, upside down ways. Is there a limit on drink redemptions with 50,000 points? I could probably kill you. Well, you're going to have to, like, I will run out of water. I'd have to get up and go take a break at a certain point. Armchair sociology. Yeah, so eating upside down. Well, I mean, basically, if you eat in small amounts upside down, your body will actually have to adapt. It'll be kind of interesting. You're going to then, let's see, eat upside down, and the acid in your stomach actually you'll make you fart more. You'll definitely have to fart more, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe you want to fart more because like the gases will rise into the intestines, and then you're going to be farting. And I think that's a great thing that you're going to be farting more because yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. And so that's exactly a good reason to do it. You'll get some nice gas, you'll have a lot of fun, and you'll be able to fart in people's faces. That's awesome. Am I like Adorno? Yeah, maybe. What is it like to eat a bat? Oh, now the alerts work. Who knows why? Yeah, thank you for the 100 bits again. I appreciate it. I don't know if that was a very good argue for, but like I think farting is a virtue and therefore an excellent reason to be eating upside down to get like the gas to go into the rest of your system. By the way, the chat source on stream has frozen. Oh my god. Oh my god, that has not happened ever before. Let me see something. What is that? You broke it, yeah. Where is that shit? I have not touched that in like forever. This has this. Huh. I don't know. That's weird. Oh, okay. Alright, so let's see. Okay, we're back. Never had to do that before. Interesting. Thank you, Vipers. Yeah, I've never done that before. That's never happened. One more thing to worry about. Nice. Okay, yeah, like I said, I'd be very happy to read something from Adorno if you know, not too long or whatever. Could break it up even if it was too long. But like that might be fun. Yeah, I hope I argued enough for your eating upside down. I think the farting, we could have like a fart competition, like, you know, the ancient, like the old Japanese people did, like fart competitions. That'd be fun. Okie doke. So yeah, so here's the thing. Academics, they have to write books for other academics. Who's reading the books? Academics then end up talking about other academics. And so this is always the problem. If you do a case study on somebody, then it becomes like a case study on like a non-academic. But if you're writing an academic book and you're talking about other academics, fitting the case study in with the other academics is hard. So it's like, it's just one of these weird things about the structure of academic writing is that when you're talking about like philosophers, you end up having to talk about the big names. Even if other people matter and you want to talk about some other people, you have to always like mention Kant or something or Aristotle. Otherwise, it's just not going to get published. It's annoying. Okay. So yeah, so why not a full chapter, for instance? Because you don't have the space. It would be nice to have a full chapter to dedicate to it, but like again, a lot of times it's like, well, are you going to take out one of the other chapters to do that? Maybe they have this space. I don't know. Okay, McNay nonetheless extracts enticing intimations of more dialogical ways of conducting critical theory from the critiques of her main authors. Dialogical knowledge creation, McNay suggests, should be a cooperative endeavor premised on a methodological equality between theory and experience, and recognizing the need for both to improve each other. Oppressed people should take an active part in the process by which knowledge is verified or legitimated, not just apply the empirical content of the theory. To develop a fully fledged notion of dialogism, one could splice such passages together with McNay's idea of a pragmatist practice of problematization in response to Jaggi, her call contra Fraser for a more diverse palette of normative exercises apart from adjudicating claims about justice, and the notion of politicized exemplarity that she advances as a repost to Ferrara. Okay, so they're just saying throw everything together and, maybe it'll be cool. I don't know if that actually works, but she's saying, look, you have to get back to the actual phenomena and then play that off the theory. McNay's intervention, however, also should direct attention to thinkers far from Frankfurt who conceptualize dialogical relations of social interpretation and world transformation in explicit terms. Paulo Freire's conception of popular education, for example, involves an understanding of dialogue which embodies McNay's insistence that lived experience is an indispensable resource for critique and that the knowledge that the oppressed groups have of the world is central to the production of unmasking critical theory. Yeah, to the things themselves. Heard that somewhere before. Yep. As I argue elsewhere, Freire challenges critical theory to incorporate intellectual exchanges with marginalized people into the formulation of theoretical concepts from the ground up, going beyond roles that McNay affirms of correcting a theory's bias, infilling its blind spots, or checking the validity of and continuing relevance of an initial starting point. Such statements appear to prove a lingering endorsement of the epistemic hierarchy. The academic devises and proposes the academic devises and proposes the theory while the interlocutor responds and adjusts. Yeah, so again, all this stuff is basically saying we have our theory and we're going to interpret what you say. So, so this author is saying they didn't actually, in the last analysis, really get back to the evidence because it's you're still got to endorse what they are saying as fundamental with your theory, which is a problem here. It's like, how do you actually, what I was complaining about earlier, how do you actually know what you're finding is the real deal experience of the people who are most marginalized? MDD haven't come back. It sounds like we're just asking for more testing in the field. Well, this is asking for less theory, more experience in terms of sociology. So how do you actually do that, though? Nevertheless, critically scrutinizing this way of framing critical theories, not sociology, critical theories. Sorry, now I'm losing my ability to speak. Well, statistics helps, yes, that's true, Ian. Thank you. Nevertheless, critically scrutinizing this way of framing critical theory's ethical and political relations with oppressed subjects would be wholly in the spirit of this book, which goes further than any recent text to raise such pressing issues of method. The Gender of Critical Theory should be read by all who are eager to learn where Frankfurt-based critical theory has moved in the post-Habermasian period and how critical theory more generally could realize its potential for immanent critique that fights domination and changes the world. Okay, so basically, back to the people who are being oppressed. Stop with the theorizing. And it says you need to make a really, really good mapping, understanding your demography, even based on national census, to obtain quantitative information. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. You really need to know who you're dealing with from the perspective of the powerful, and then go in and actually see how they're dealing with it to understand how the people who are being oppressed are reacting. And so it's but how do you actually do that with your, ivory tower philosophy glasses on? Viper says, well, I'm dumb. I was looking through Paul Apostolides' other papers, and there's one from 2003 entitled Why Monica Still Matters. My first thought was from Mambo number 5. Yeah. I mean, it may have been Monica Lewinsky, so not really so far away from the dancing and fun making. But yeah, a little bit of Monica in my life. And says that's why you don't do it from a philosophy place. You actually build up instruments, drive to the people, and ask them yourself. Yeah. But that's the thing. There's still what do you ask? How are you interpreting that stuff? All that stuff does matter. It's still theoretically sort of like your interaction with the people is still going to be in a way from like whatever your place you're coming from. So yeah. So you need to, no, I mean, Anne knows what she's talking about. So it's like you do need to actually go and meet the peoples. And the question is, how much are you reading into it from the academic side? And you got to cut down on that shit, is basically what it is. Stop telling people what they're feeling and actually hear what they have to say. Anyway, short little paper. Let's give it a quick little review, and then we can, get out of here and I'll rest my voice a little bit more. So, as per usual, you can use the emotes and give us a little vote. Is this review something worth checking out? Yes or no? And this is the review of the gender critical theory on the experiential grounds of critique. Was it a worthwhile thing? Now, I'm going to have to say it is a little navel gazing here because, this is basically trying to, academics, you have to go talk to the people. Academics is what you're doing. And you're like, this is talking about academics to academics. So yeah, Ivan Neal gave it a golden turd, which means it looks fancy. Did use a lot of big words, but still poop underneath. Navel gazing and a nay. Yep. So I'm going to give it a navel gazing. I don't know if I'm going to give it a golden poop. I think like they didn't really screw up what they were trying to do because this is just how these people talk. And Semiotics also gave it a nay. Vipers gives it a golden poop. I left to make coffee and hung up some laundry halfway through, so I'm just gonna default to poop. I know most of us here are not social theorists. We're not. Let's see. I don't really feel like a yay or nay on this either. But like, it's just virtue signaling garbage in your opinion. But what is virtue signaling? Is it the writer here that's virtue signaling? Or is it the book that they reviewed, virtue signaling? Brian says a lot of navel gazing. We need to get away from theorizing, then throws out a bunch of theorizing language ticks. Yeah, but that's the thing. In this area, this is just how they speak. Like, this is the way they speak in this area. So it's like, they're not trying to be theoretical. It just sounds very theoretical to us, plebeians who do not have all this jargon that they just understand.